Hey everyone, Yvette St.Amant here. I am so excited to show you my flip through on this amazing little art journal. And it literally looks like a little bundle of goodness. Oh my gosh, this thing is so thick, but it's so yummy and delicious inside. I can't wait to get started. This is my bark art junk journal. And I made this little journal style booklet. It's kind of like a little, you can either use it as a pocket folder style this way, or sorry, a pocket journal, or you can use it as a portfolio style, which is what I did. Now I had to add this jute to tie it down because it's so fat. I didn't want all the yummy goodness inside to pop out. But let me just tell you about this journal. Everything inside of it is little abstract art created using birch bark. And if you've got birch trees around, you know that that bark has a ton of different colors. I mean, each layer just has a delicious palette of beautiful colors, and I've kept this a nice little natural art journal. But let me just start. The pages are made with a combination of eco-dyed paper and just scraps that I had left over from other journals or other projects that I just haven't used. And I also used some coffee stained coffee filters, as you can see here on my first page. That is a coffee filter that I just punched a hole in, folded together, and I've got a couple little pockets here. So I used, this is one of my little tags that I made just with a variety of birch bark, and look at how that is. I mean, you could paint that or you can just use nature to create something beautiful. And that slips in. Now, when I folded this coffee filter, I got a couple little pockets, so I made another little tag here, and you could just see the difference in colors on this bark. It is just simply amazing. Now, I've used all natural mediums in this, other than the glue that I used to hold it down, but I also used some Indian ink, so I did a couple little splatters. And throughout this journal, you are going to see the use of string as well, some waxed linen string as well as waxed cotton string. So this is just a combination of abstract art, and here we go. I'm going to do the flip through, and every page is a different size. I've also used some homemade papers that my girlfriend made for me, Robin McClendon. She's also an artist. And I did these little mini paintings. They're all abstract art. A lot of it you'll see is inspired by two of my absolutely favorite artists growing up, Juan Miro and Wassily Kandinsky. I just love their abstract approach to art, using lines and squiggles and coloring little sections and dots. So I've really incorporated that into my journal. Here I've just got a little pocket that I made from birch bark, and I used a stitching technique. And now I didn't stitch the pocket on. I actually stitched a piece of paper and then glued it on, so the stitching doesn't come through the other side. So I'm going to try really hard to go slowly here so you guys can see everything. Again, just little abstract pieces, and here you're going to see a lot of these little thread circles throughout this book. And everything that you see in some of the art, it's just, you know, I really liked the texture of this bark, how it just threads and shreds like fringe. So I really tried to incorporate that. I've got some stitching and an additional little pocket. And then as I flip through here, you can really see the influence of Kandinsky's art here. And I used Indian ink. Oh, and that's another thing. I also used charcoal. So I told myself, no paint. used just kind of the basics that they used back then, these cultures, you know, the Native Americans. They used a variety of Indian inks to dye, and there's also eco-dyed paper in here, which is how they dyed their fabric when they were making clothing, and a variety of their arts as well. So, and charcoal is really just burnt down wood. It's compressed, so that's what I used, was a compressed charcoal. I didn't use the willow one. But here again, this one's a little fold, and I've just added little details. I've got a little tiny mini little painting here. I also used some canvas. There's little canvas pieces that I had that are sticky, so I did some artwork on that, and I incorporated that. Here's some other pages inspired by Juan Miro here, respectively, not using his wonderfully bright colors, but in a neutral palette, but similar techniques. Again, some more art. I've got some stitching here because I folded the paper and I made a little pocket. Again, here's a little mini painting, a little abstract piece of painting that I can just make sure that you see all that. I can just tuck back in here. And I've got another little pocket here with a tag, and I've got just simple birch bark on one side, and then I used Indian ink to do a wash and some little scribbles, and that just tucks right in here. This is my eco-dyed paper underneath, and I've just added some birch bark here. And now I've left a variety of these little curls, like the natural curls and folds of the birch bark. I really wanted to emphasize in this, so I left that there. The little tag and some more art. Here's another little tuck, just with some birch bark, creating a abstract painting from it. This one had a little knot in it. It was so cute, so I wanted to preserve that. Again, some stitching. I just folded some paper to make a pocket. And then on the back side, another little piece of abstract art. And here, inspired by Juan Miro and his crazy little eyeballs that he's got in his paintings. Oh, I love his abstracts. If you're not familiar with him, he's a Spanish artist from the 1800s, and he does amazing art. Check him out. Okay, another little pocket here with another little piece using some charcoal and string. And here I just punched, hole punched some holes and tied some jute just for a different little element. And it's kind of nice because you see snippets of it on the other side. And again, some more artwork. And I left little strings and nice little bobs hanging out so that it would add a visual component to the book. Here's another little tag with some simple kind of tone-on-tone bark with a little coffee filter pocket, little piece of art on it, of course encased in some stitching. And here I just left this simple with a piece of birch bark. It's got some really interesting components in there that I wanted to showcase, so I just left them like that. Now this is a little pull-out tab, so you can open it this way and check out the art there, or flip it. And I've got a piece of art here. There's another little tuck here. I didn't make anything for it because I liked it like that, but this also folds out as well. It's got some more art. And then when I flip it over, there's more art on the back and this little tag that tucks in to this side. So when it's closed, you can either close it this way or you can close it, whoops, that way. Just depends on what interests you more. This journal's pretty chunky, so I'm trying to hold it open. And then I've got some more art here using string and jute. Some birch bark. Here's another piece of canvas with just some bark and string. And we're getting near the end of the book. Another painting here inspired by Kandinsky. And these are really reminiscent, these little black squiggly circles and lines of Miro's style. And then I've got a little painting there, and I've left this little side blank because when this lies over, I just thought that looked pretty. And this is, it's, you know, it's a nice little chunky, hard piece of bark. I thought that was so cute. I wanted to preserve that as well. So I just left that like that. And that's the end of the book. There is my beautiful little bark art journal. It's a little thing, as you can see. It's about the size of my hand. And it's pretty chunky. I've got all kinds of goodness, and what's nice about it is, so there's a tag here that I created with a little loop, and that's how I tie it shut, is I've fastened a piece of string at the back, and I literally just pull my string through and tie it. Like so, and it stays nicely bundled. So I hope you enjoyed my little flip through. This was my little prop. This is a pencil that I picked up in Canada when I was home last summer, and it's made out of a birch branch, the pencil. So I brought a couple of those back home for me. That was just my little prop to kind of add to the earthiness of this flip through. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure you hit that subscribe button so you can get notification when I upload the tutorial to this little art journal. And we'll see you guys again soon. Thanks for watching. Okay, bye.